everyone, it's Jenna Melanson from Canadian Beats Media. I'm joined today by Jack from Alberta-based prog-power band Red Cain for our latest segment of Zoomies. Welcome, Jack.
Thanks. Really good to be here. I'm excited.
So first off, care to introduce Red Cain to our listeners?
Yeah, it's a prog metal band, Eastern European influence. I like to say there's a bunch of vodka and just kind of shaken and stirred, and that's how that's the kind of stuff we produce. We tell stories. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, and we effectively combine a lot of European metal influence with Eastern European storytelling and the presentation of North American bands. And we like to think the professionalism of North American bands as well.
Okay, awesome. You haven't unveiled your album, NÄE'BLISS. Tell us a bit about the writing process behind the release.
Sure, I can. We wanted to make an album that was an homage to the Wheel of Time fantasy series, but we also wanted to make an album that evolves the sound of the band. This is our third full length, so we got fairly comfortable with what could be defined as the Red Cain sound, and we built some fan base globally. And so we wanted to take the next step in our evolution. And that next step also coincided with some new arrivals in the band lineup. So we had a very good new guitarist come on board, Sam Rideout. He's very technical. He's influenced by Meshuggah and various other Swedish kind of tech death bands. So this album was always going to be heavier and thrashier and more aggressive than the previous ones that we've put out. So I think we succeeded in that. We wrote with that in mind, and every song that we put together had a piece of that concept, our own interpretation of part of the Wheel of Time story that was written around. The collaborative aspect was a lot tighter than the previous album, which was produced or released kind of at the beginning of COVID. This one we were able to get together and work organically on music, and then practice the music a little bit as well. So I think it came out very cohesive, and for us it was just really fun. We had just finished the 2-album saga. Our previous 2 albums were part 1 and part 2 of a concept, and that was kind of the defining album for us as a new band. After that, we took a deep breath and we essentially wrote something that we liked, and this is what NÄE'BLISS came out as.
Okay, and you worked with Tyler Corbett and Sasha Lowski on the album. How was that experience?
It was great. They're good friends of ours. Tyler is part of another Canadian band from Calgary called The Siren. Yeah, also a very good band, very good friends of ours. And then Sasha is kind of like, I like to call him the godfather of Calgary metal, because he has his own project called Every Hour Kills, which is very popular, and he's generally been a very solid long-term presence in the local metal scene and beyond. So he masters our work, and he's also very good at what he does. So for us, those two were effectively foundational pieces that we had always intended to work with, and they did their job very well.
Perfect. Describe your sound in 5 words or less.
Ooh, 5 words or less. Vodka soaked, progressive, lurid, and let's say powerful. Let's go back to the usual metal cliche for that one.
Okay. Do you have any upcoming shows to tell us about?
We're working on that. We did play a show about a month ago with Striker and a couple of other bands here in Calgary. It was fantastic. It was our first show for a couple of years. But our focus so far has been on the launch of this record. So now that the record is out, we're looking to see what we can do. It will be nice, of course, to play some shows.
For sure. So the next 5 questions are just for fun. Who was the first Canadian artist or band to catch your attention?
Oh, that's an interesting one. A while back, when we were first starting to play shows, we did a few covers, and one of the covers we did was a Tea Party cover. So I think for that, the Tea Party was probably one of the first bands. It was Temptation, the song we covered.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, since we know you're into fantasy, what series would you recommend to someone who is new to the genre?
Depends if you want to start light or heavy. Um, I can't in good faith recommend Wheel of Time if you're just starting in the genre because it's 15 books and it's a
Yeah.
massive lift. So work up to it. If you like urban fantasy, I'm a fan of Dresden Files. It's a very good fast-paced series. It's got a few novels; they're fairly standalone. Um, it's kind of a noir detective series that is
Okay.
grounded in fantasy tropes, and it's pretty fun to read.
Okay, cool. If you were asked to cover a song, which we know you already mentioned one, but which would you choose if you were asked to right now?
Right now,
Well, like that right now in your career, like where you are right now. Not like this
ah,
moment.
yeah, no, it's that's very interesting. We've always wanted to branch out into covering non-metal songs, um, but I also love 80s music. So I think that's actually a really hard one. We've always wanted to cover the Rasputin version of Boney M, or the song by Boney M.
Hmm.
Um, it was just really fun, and
For
obviously with
sure.
my Eastern European background, it was kind of like a an inside joke. So maybe we'll do that sometime.
Okay. Um, okay. What movie could you watch over and over and never tire of?
Tropic Thunder.
Okay. Yeah,
It's funny every time.
it's true. Yeah. With barbecue season upon us, what's your favorite food to throw on the grill?
I have a smoker actually,
Okay.
so flank steak.
Okay. Yeah, that would probably be very good.
It is
Okay, so that's it for Zoomies. Thank you for joining me and congratulations on the new album.
fantastic. I appreciate you inviting me on. This was fun.